Hello everyone and welcome to my The Young and the Restless official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Young and the Restless recap for Tuesday, February 3rd reveals that Kane Ashby will have a plan that involves betraying Billy Abbott, but he'll defend it since he's doing whatever it takes to get his family back. At Crimson Lights, Sharon Newman will grill Daniel Romalotti Jr. about the nature of his relationship with Tessa Porter, since it seems like they're more than friends. Daniel will acknowledge that he's gotten close with Tessa, but he'll insist they tried to fight it and neither of them planned for this to happen. Sharon will understand why Tessa would lean on Daniel, but she'll still hope that Tessa will change her mind about the divorce. Daniel will wonder how long Tessa is supposed to wait for Mariah Copeland to get better and stop pushing her family away. However, Sharon won't think Mariah can truly heal without Tessa, so Daniel will question if this is Sharon's way of asking him to back off. At the Park Cafe, Tessa will bump into Sienna Bacall, who'll admit she moved there to be with Noah Newman. Sienna will also quiz Tessa about her own relationship, so Tessa won't think she's going to have a happy ending with Mariah anymore. Daniel will eventually come along and meet Sienna, who'll talk about opening a Genoa City club with Noah in the coming months. At Newman Enterprises on Tuesday's YNR episode, Kane will push Phyllis Summers to help him give Victor Newman some bait. Kane will think they should give Chancellor back to the Newmans and demand his family's return before they sign over the rest of the Newman empire. Once Lily Winters and the twins are safe, Kane will insist they can renege on the deal. Phyllis will doubt that plan would work with Victor and won't like the idea of betraying Billy. That said, Phyllis will admit Billy's contract hasn't been fully executed yet. Kane will justify the betrayal and argue that Billy's going to be collateral damage. When Phyllis asks what's in it for her, Kane will offer to appeal to Daniel on her behalf. Phyllis will decide that if Kane can get Daniel to forgive her, then they'll move forward with his plan. After Kane asks Daniel to come to his train for a conversation about Phyllis, Daniel will give Tessa the news and see how she's holding up. Tessa will acknowledge that she's not doing great, but she'll appreciate Daniel's support and give him a kiss. Once Sienna witnesses Tessa and Daniel's close moment, she'll speak with Tessa alone and insist Daniel's falling in love with her. Meanwhile, Kane will call Phyllis to let her know his meeting with Daniel is set, but that won't be good enough for her. Phyllis will urge Kane to call her when he feels he's made some headway with Daniel so that their deal can move ahead. Back at the coffee house, Noah will ask Sharon if she's heard from Nick Newman today, since he hasn't. Sharon will confess that she hasn't either, so she'll worry. Nick has gone off on his own to find Matt Clark and make sure he can never return. However, Sharon will ultimately decide they should have faith in Nick's plan and trust that he'll be in touch soon. At Society, Audra Charles will hold the door open for Claire Newman, who still won't be buying her phony nice act. That said, Claire will let Audra know that she's done investigating her past in LA and that she's done with Holden Novak too. Audra will question if Claire was only with Holden because she wanted dirt on her. Once Kyle Abbott pops up for breakfast with Claire, Audra will decide maybe she just wanted to get back together with her ex. Holden will arrive and join Audra at the bar where she'll goad him a bit about Kyle and Claire's reconnection. Holden will seemingly sense that Audra is pining for Kyle, so he'll suggest they should be honest about their feelings so they can both get what they want. It sounds like Audra and Holden could be gearing up to sabotage Kyle and Claire's reunion. Meanwhile, Kyle will hear about Claire's encounter with Audra and admit he'd like to spend more time with her, so Claire will suggest it's a date. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Claire and Audra's feud isn't over yet, so stay tuned. The streets of Genoa City are alive with tension, secrets, and the faint hum of anticipation. In the shadowy corners of the city, alliances are forming, hearts are breaking, and every choice carries a weight that could change lives forever. On Tuesday, February 3rd, the drama escalates in ways that will leave every character on edge. It all begins with Kane Ashby, standing at the crossroads of loyalty and desperation. Kane's mind is racing, plotting, calculating, but it's not without a moral cost. He has a plan, a risky, dangerous plan that will betray Billy Abbott, a man he once considered an ally, yet Kane isn't shying away. With a quiet intensity, he tells himself and anyone who listens that everything he's about to do is for his family. Every move, every deception is justified in his eyes, because to Cain there's no greater mission than reclaiming the people he loves. The stakes are high, and the line between right and wrong has never felt thinner. Meanwhile, at Crimson Lights, the air is thick with questions and unspoken tension. Sharon Newman leans across the table, her eyes searching, her voice a mix of curiosity and concern as she grills Daniel Romalotti Jr. about his relationship with Tessa Porter. It's clear that Sharon suspects more than friendship between them. Daniel, caught between honesty and discretion, admits he's grown close to Tessa, but insists that neither of them planned for their feelings to spiral this way. There's a raw human honesty in his confession, a vulnerability that makes the moment linger. Sharon, ever empathetic, understands why Tessa might lean on Daniel during such turbulent times, but even as she processes this, a quiet hope flickers within her. Hope that Tessa might reconsider the divorce and rebuild what's been lost. Daniel's mind, however, is racing in a different direction. He wonders silently how long Tessa is supposed to wait for Mariah Copeland to heal, and if pushing her family away will ever lead to peace. Sharon, gentle but firm, suggests that Mariah may never truly recover without Tessa's presence, and in that moment, Daniel can't help but question, has Sharon just asked him to step back, or is there something more? The scene shifts to a sunlit park cafe where paths cross in unexpected ways. Tessa, still carrying the weight of her personal turmoil, bumps into Sienna Bacall. Sienna, a mix of charm and candor, admits she moved to Genoa City for one reason, to be near Noah Newman. But her curiosity doesn't stop there. She probes Tessa about her own romantic life, making Tessa realize with a pang of disappointment that the future she once imagined with Mariah might be slipping further from reach. Just then, Daniel arrives, and the tension in the cafe shifts as Sienna talks about the ambitious plan she and Noah have to open a new club in Genoa City in the coming months. Life, it seems, is moving forward for some, even as it hangs in precarious balance for others. Back at Newman Enterprises, the stakes grow even higher. Cain corners Phyllis Summers, laying out his audacious plan. He wants to use her to bait Victor Newman, a move that could shake the city's most powerful family to its core. Cain argues that they should leverage Chancellor, return it to the Newmans only after demanding his family's safe return. It's a high-risk maneuver, one that could unravel at a moment's notice. Phyllis hesitates, moral lines flashing red. Betraying Billy feels dangerous, reckless even. But Cain, persuasive and determined, justifies it as a necessary collateral, a temporary sacrifice for a greater good. When Phyllis asks what's in it for her, Cain offers a bridge, a chance for her to reconcile with Daniel. It's a tempting promise, a glimmer of hope amid treachery. Slowly, Phyllis softens, agreeing that if Cain can mend her bond with Daniel, they'll proceed. And so, Cain sets the stage, arranging a private conversation with Daniel aboard his train. Meanwhile, Daniel delivers the news to Tessa. She listens, emotions flickering across her face, a mixture of gratitude, fear, and fleeting tenderness. She admits she is not holding up well, yet in that moment of vulnerability, she allows herself a small reprieve, a gentle kiss, a reminder that even in chaos, connection persists. But that brief intimacy doesn't go unnoticed. Sienna watches from a distance, suspicion and jealousy coloring her thoughts. Later, in a quiet, intense conversation, Sienna confronts Tessa, insisting that Daniel's heart may already be slipping away, drawn irresistibly toward her. Cain, undeterred, contacts Phyllis, confirming that his meeting with Daniel is set, but Phyllis remains cautious, demanding more progress before committing to the plan. She instructs Cain to call only when he feels he's made real headway, a subtle pressure that keeps the tension tight and the stakes unbearably high. Back at the coffee house, Noah checks in with Sharon, asking if she's heard from Nick Newman. Neither has, and the absence gnaws at them. What if Nick has gone off on a dangerous path to confront Matt Clark, ensuring he can never return? Sharon, ever the voice of reason and faith, decides to trust in Nick's plan. They will wait, they will hope, and they will believe that he will re-emerge on their side as determined and resolute as ever. At Society, another storm brews, one fueled by ambition, love, and a touch of malice. Audra Charles holds the door for Claire Newman, but Claire isn't buying Audra's faux kindness. Their interaction crackles with history and hidden agendas. Claire reveals she's done digging into Audra's past in LA and is finally letting go of Holden Novak. Audra, ever probing, wonders if Claire's motivations were always strategic. Then Kyle Abbott enters, bringing warmth and the possibility of a second chance. Suddenly, old rivalries, new attractions, and unspoken desires collide. Holden arrives at the bar, joining Audra in a dance of words, subtly goading her about Kyle and Claire. He senses the tension, the unspoken longing, and offers a cryptic suggestion: be honest about your feelings, and you could both get what you want. The subtext is clear: a storm of schemes and romantic tension is gathering, threatening to topple fragile relationships. Meanwhile, Kyle, learning about Claire's encounter with Audra, admits his desire to spend more time with her. Claire smiles, the warmth of possibility lighting her eyes, and says simply, "It's a date." But as their story unfolds, the simmering feud with Audra promises that the path ahead will be anything but easy. From secretive plans on corporate trains to intimate cafes, from whispered confessions to bold betrayals, Genoa City on this Tuesday is a world in motion. Hearts are tested, loyalties are questioned, and love itself hangs in the balance. For Kane, Daniel, Tessa, and every soul caught in the web of desire and deception, the choices they make today will echo tomorrow, and the consequences promise to be explosive. As the city lights flicker and the night stretches over Genoa City, one thing is certain: no one is safe from the tangled web of love, ambition, and betrayal that binds them all. And for viewers, the drama is only just beginning. As the sun dips lower over Genoa City, the shadows grow longer, and the city feels smaller, tighter, as if every corner is watching, listening, and holding its breath. Inside Newman Enterprises, Kane Ashby moves with purpose, every step measured, every glance carrying the weight of his secret plan. He knows what he's about to do could shatter lives, but the pull of family, of reclaiming those he loves, is too strong to ignore. Phyllis Summers, standing on the edge of moral compromise, waits anxiously for news. She knows Kane's plan is dangerous, treacherous even, but the possibility of mending her relationship with Daniel adds a magnetic pull she can't resist. The phone buzzes in Kane's hand, a small lifeline connecting the pieces of this carefully orchestrated puzzle. He assures Phyllis that the meeting with Daniel is set, but she presses him for proof of progress, every word, every pause carrying the silent weight of potential betrayal. Meanwhile, Daniel and Tessa sit in a quiet corner, trying to find solace amid chaos. Daniel notices the exhaustion etched into Tessa's features, the faint tremor in her hands. He reaches across, holding hers, grounding her with a steady presence. "You don't have to do this alone," he whispers, and for a fleeting moment, the world shrinks to just the two of them. Tessa leans into him, letting herself feel supported, letting herself believe, if only for a moment, that love can survive even in a city so fractured by secrets. And then their lips meet in a tender, desperate kiss, a promise of connection in the storm. But outside, Sienna watches, and her expression darkens, suspicion and jealousy flaring as she realizes that Daniel's heart may already be slipping away from her. The tension escalates further when Sienna corners Tessa, her words sharp and deliberate. "Daniel's falling for you," she insists, each syllable a weight that presses down on Tessa's chest. There's no malice in her tone, only an unflinching truth, but Tessa feels it like a blow, a painful reminder of the impossible choices before her. She cannot yet face the future she once imagined with Mariah, and every glance toward Daniel only deepens the ache of longing and uncertainty. Across town, Sharon Newman sits with Noah at the coffee house, trying to quiet her worries about Nick. Both know he's gone off on some dangerous path, tracking Matt Clark with a singular purpose. Sharon fears the worst, imagines Nick walking a path where danger and violence intersect, yet she steels herself. They'll trust Nick, have faith in his plan, and wait for him to return, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Genoa City may be a city of chaos, but in these quiet moments of trust and hope, Sharon and Noah find a fragile, luminous anchor. Back at society, the battle of hearts and schemes intensifies. Audra Charles, her usual charm tempered with a sharp edge, engages Holden Novak in a subtle game of emotional chess. She teases him about Kyle and Claire, probing, observing, testing the limits of honesty and desire. Holden, perceptive and sly, senses the longing behind her banter. He proposes a dangerous honesty, that they both speak openly, claim what they want, and perhaps manipulate the outcomes in their favor. It's clear that the city's web of romantic and personal intrigue is expanding, that alliances are forming, and that betrayals are never far behind. Kyle Abbott, meanwhile, learns of Claire's encounter with Audra. His heart flutters with the hope of reconnection, the possibility of reclaiming what he thought was lost. Claire meets his gaze, a spark of warmth in her eyes, and simply says, "It's a date." But the shadow of Audra looms, a reminder that in Genoa City, happiness is never simple, and the most innocent moments are often laced with tension and danger. Back in the high-stakes world of Newman Enterprises, Kane prepares for his meeting with Daniel, the weight of potential betrayal pressing against him like a vice. He rehearses his words, each one a delicate balance between truth and manipulation. This is a man walking a razor's edge. One misstep could destroy families, friendships, and futures. Yet Kane's resolve is unshakable. He reminds himself that collateral damage is sometimes necessary, that sacrifice is part of love, and that every calculated risk is a step closer to reclaiming what he's lost. Phyllis, meanwhile, paces anxiously, caught between moral hesitation and the magnetic pull of opportunity. She debates silently. Can she betray Billy? Can she trust Kane? And more than that, can she hope that Daniel will forgive her? Even if the path to reconciliation is paved with lies, the tension is almost unbearable, a quiet storm brewing within her that mirrors the chaos outside. At the park cafe, Sienna and Noah discuss the future, the excitement of new ventures tinged with personal stakes. The city feels alive around them, a backdrop to a life that might finally move forward, unburdened by past heartbreaks. But for Tessa, the world feels smaller, tighter. Every choice, every encounter, a reminder that love and loyalty are never straightforward, that happiness is a fragile, fleeting prize in a city built on secrets. As night falls over Genoa City, every character is poised on the edge of change. Kane's daring plan teeters between success and disaster. Daniel and Tessa's fragile connection stands in delicate balance, tested by jealousy and uncertainty. Audra and Holden manipulate hearts and desires, plotting moves in a game that could reshape romantic allegiances. And Sharon, Noah, and Nick navigate a world of danger and hope, their faith tested at every turn. The city hums with anticipation, its streets alive with tension, its skyline a silent witness to the tangled web of love, betrayal, ambition, and hope. In Genoa City, every choice matters, every secret carries a cost. And as the night deepens, one truth becomes undeniable. In this city, hearts can be broken, loyalties tested, and love, true, unwavering love, may be the only thing worth fighting for. The question remains, who will survive the storm? Who will emerge victorious? And who will be lost to the shadows? Tuesday in The Young and the Restless is a reminder that in Genoa City, nothing is ever simple, and every heartbeat carries the promise of drama, passion, and unforgettable consequences. The streets of Genoa City are alive with tension tonight, a city buzzing with secrets, betrayal, and hearts on the line. Every alleyway, every cafe, every skyscraper seems to hum with anticipation, as if the city itself knows that nothing will ever be the same again. And at the heart of it all is Kane Ashby, standing at a crossroads where loyalty and desperation collide. Kane's mind is a whirlwind of plans, schemes, and quiet desperation. He knows that the path he's about to take will betray Billy Abbott, a man he once considered an ally. But Kane tells himself it's for the greater good. Every move, every calculated risk is a step toward reclaiming his family, the people he loves more than life itself. His moral compass twists under the weight of urgency, but Kane is unshakable. In his heart, the ends justify the means. Meanwhile, at Crimson Lights, the emotional tension is tangible. Sharon Newman leans in toward Daniel Romalotti Jr., all her eyes sharp, searching, full of concern. She's asking the questions no one else dares to ask. What is going on between Daniel and Tessa Porter? Daniel, torn between honesty and the fear of hurting Tessa, admits they've grown close, but insists it was never planned. There was no roadmap, no intention for this bond to deepen, it just happened. Sharon listens, understanding the gravity of Daniel's words, yet a flicker of hope remains. Hope that Tessa might reconsider her divorce, that the fragile threads of family and love might still be mended. Daniel, however, wrestles with his own uncertainty. How long is Tessa supposed to wait for Mariah Copeland to heal? How long until she stops pushing her family away? Sharon gently reminds him that true healing may never come without Tessa's presence, and in that moment, Daniel can't help but wonder, does Sharon mean for him to step back, or is she offering him guidance in disguise?